All right, fellas. Good afternoon. Welcome to another offensive install session for our camp. Today, I'm just going to run you through exactly what it is that we're going to be doing from an installation perspective, and the stuff that we're going to go over in the meeting. If you watch the video, you'll get a jump start to our meeting because, again, we only get 20 minutes inside the meeting. And I don't, 20 minutes is great, but it's gonna be the fastest 20 minutes that you ever seen. So this will help get a jump start on it, so that when we do get into the meeting, if you have questions or you're kind of like not understanding something, maybe this video will help clarify some of those things that you might be a little cloudy with. So I'm going to share my screen as usual, the entirety of it. Here we go. Okay. Now, earlier today posted the schedule. So again, 3:05 to 3:25 is our meeting time offensively. The formations that are going in today are yellow right and left, and then yellow open right and left. Okay. The run scheme that's going in today is Florida and Gator, which is our GT counter. The screen that's being installed that people already should know at this point, and again, there's a video on this as well. The only thing in the video that would be inconsistent, and I will say it right now, and I said it in the meeting last night, is no matter what type of technique you have or type of corner, whether he's soft or off coverage, or if he's a hard corner or pressed up, we're still taking 3 steps like we're selling the vertical. We're putting our foot or outside foot in the ground, which if it was London, it'd be our left foot. If it was Paris, it'd be our right foot. And coming back and retracing behind the line of scrimmage to catch the ball and then roll into or lean into the ball so that it allows for us to catch the ball and then get into the tunnel, because it's a tunnel screen, and then get back outside where the bad guys aren't able to converge and make a play on us. Rose and Linda is going to be our tailback screen, which for our receivers is going to be Viper. And we're going to run it today at a just regular yellow left or yellow right. And the only person that's not running Viper is our tight end or our Y. He's going to be on the shallow. Okay. Lock stick basically is a 2-man game. So we won't get the back out into the flat because that's a part of our quick game where we have a mandatory outside release by our outside receiver. It could be the F, it could be the X. And then basically, we have number 2 on the stick route, could be the Y, it could be the Z. And then wherever the back is going, if it's 2x2, we release the back out into our diagonal. With the lock stick, we're now basically saying, okay, we're reading a stand-up player. Our tackle to the side of the stick will be locked because he's not going to run Zorro or Zelda and run the sift technique because we're no longer reading the first level player or C-gap defender. We're now reading a stand-up player, which would be a linebacker or a second level player. And if the linebacker opens to take away the stick, turns his shoulders towards the stick, we're going to hand the ball off to the back. If he fits now hard, all right, and fits the run, we're now going to replace him in that void with the person running the stick. So that's lock stick. Z corner is basically air raid staple. It's a 3-man concept where we're going to put whoever's tagged on a 5-step corner. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5-step corner because our inside foot is back. And then we're putting someone on a diagonal. So it could be the back out of the backfield on a diagonal. It could be the F receiver in trips on a diagonal. And then what we're doing is we are foot firing our number 1 outside. And then basically he's running inside to try to get behind the box linebacker. Okay. Try to get behind him. And then basically what we're doing is we'll read that guy unless we have an inside leverage safety. Then we'd be high-lowing the corner and looking either to throw it to the corner route or we're to throw it to the diagonal. But if it's one of those things where that safety's outside leverage, we'd be reading off the backer. If the backer chases the diagonal, we're going to hit we're going to hit that snag route. All right. And again, if it is, you feel like you're getting man, you're being followed on the snag by the outside receiver or X, you're going to continue on. If it's man on your route, just keep going. If you feel like it's zone, you don't see anybody following you, then you're going to find that hollow spot and you're going to sit down like you're settling and noosing, okay, which is why we do settle noose drill. We're also adding Hoss and Hickey. Hoss is hitch seam in 3x1. Number one's got the 7 back to 5 hitch, okay. Number 2 has the seam, okay, outside release, and then try to restack it, okay, and get back on your course. And then number 3 is going to run a ball route over top of the center, and you're just going to sit there and make yourself look big, shoulders and numbers looking back towards the quarterback, and obviously he'll throw you open, just kind of like if it's mesh. He'll throw you open away from where the defender is or where the defender's leverage is. All right, Mary, we talked about last night in the meeting. It's our 3x1 spirit concept, and I'll show you that in a few moments. And the protection that's going in is Rhino and Llama for our offensive line, which is a full slide, tackle to tackle protection. Coach Dom went over that in the meeting. And then basically the running back, whether he is away from the C gap or he's to the C gap side, whether east or west, he is responsible for that backside C gap. All right, from inside out. All right, this is the practice plan for today. We're going to do some settle new stuff that we always do, kind of warm it up. Maybe some diamond releases for our receivers. And so we'll clean that stuff up, get some catches in, some goalpost catches. All right, not killing you guys prior to the start of practice, but doing things that are going to help us get better. We have a tempo period on air. The script for the tempo period is right here. Please familiarize yourselves with that. We'll have a screen period today from 6:50 to 6:55. It'll be reinforcing Paris and London. I'll have 2 quarterbacks with me. Coach Dom at the same time will be working Rose and Linda. He'll have 2 quarterbacks with him. He'll also have the running backs. And like I said, with me will be 2 quarterbacks and the receivers, obviously, so we can run Paris and London. Then we'll put it all together at 6. We'll basically put it together. 2 groups will go, and we'll run Paris and London and Rose and Linda simultaneously. We'll throw stuff back and forth and go between those 2 different screens, running back screen and the 3x1 or 3 nub tunnel screen that we have in. From 7 to 7:10, we'll have routes on air. We'll be reinforcing in that time Hoss, Hickey, which will be our quicks, and our Mary concept again, which is our 3x1 spirit, just a different way to get to it. And we talked about that last night. And then we'll end with 10 minutes team period versus our defense. That'll be in a 31 alarm type of look. There is a 7-on-7 period today, but it's defensive emphasis. But during that period, we have a script, which is this one here. So this is our 7-on-7 team script here, or 7-on-7 period script. Again, defensive emphasis. And then this is going to be our team offensive period today. As I said, that will be running 11 plays at the very, very end of offensive practice. Now, just to kind of go over a couple of things real quick. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on it, but I feel like you need to see it. So we'll go into the Just for Play software. And the first thing I want to show you is what I have up here. So we'll talk about this. Okay, this is our Mary concept. Again, it's another version of shallow or spirit rather. We're just doing it from 3x1 and not the traditional 2x2 set. So what we're going to do on the back side is we're going to run our delta concept. The back at some point is going to be in a protection. He's going to run a check, check, swing, but we haven't put that protection in yet. So for right now, we're just going to release you on a diagonal. So it'll be Roger or Lordai protection, which is our 5-man protection. And we'll get you out into the route, okay? Eventually, it's going to marry up where you'll be in the protection and you'll be checking. I think it's going to be B to C, and then you're going to end up releasing late into the flat or for the diagonal on the back side. Again, we're going to run delta. On the front side of the concept, okay? Again, for our quarterback, it's going to be +3 for the drop back. So shallow dig, you'll catch it +3. All right, we're looking for our X to run a 10 to 12 yard post over the top, skinny. Okay. We're looking for our Z, must outside release. Okay. Dig, or I need to fix that. Dig, or you're going to sit. Okay. Depending upon what we're getting. But not quite sure why that's like that. Okay. That's better. So we'll have that. Save and exit. Okay. So must outside release. And like I said in the meeting, I don't care if you get wide. It doesn't really matter. We're putting the nickel in conflict. Okay. So if the nickel turns and opens on a 45-degree angle, there's no one to cover the flat, especially against quarters. So now our slant return or our pivot route is going to be the guy that's going to get the football. Okay. So basically, and again, I talked to Coach Tom about this. Normally, we have our inside foot back on this, but to make things easier, we're going to put your inside foot up on this route, and we're going to say it's basically a slant stem. So it would be right, left, right. Okay, on the right, on the last step, the third step, you'll rocker it. All right, putting your left foot on a 45-degree angle. All right, inside, not too far inside, and then you're going to end up taking your right foot, once you plant and cut on a 45, you're going to push off of that right foot and get back out flat, all right, to pivot back out, okay? So quarterback will read it 1 on the pivot, 2 to the dig, okay? And then 3 to the burst release, 12 back to 10 curl, and then lastly to the diagonal, okay? Again, the coaching point on this play is must outside release, okay? And basically, if you're getting that man-to-man type of thing, all right, at the top of the route, what we need to do is use our hands, all right, to throw him by, all right, push him, club him by, rip underneath him, whatever, and then you're going to break it flat coming across, all right? If it's zone, okay, and you see this nickel basically attached to the pivot, there's no need to continue across. As soon as you get by him, all right, you can curl it up and just sit there in that window, and the quarterback's going to find you, okay? So the quarterback's going to peek the post, no good. His eyes are going from the whip to the dig to the curl to the flat, and that's our Mary concept, guys, okay? So hopefully that's helpful on Mary, 3x1 out of yellow open left. Okay, the next thing I want to go over quickly with you guys is we're going to talk about Paris and London, okay? So this is what we're running Paris and London out of today. It'll be out of yellow right, regular, so the tight end is attached backside. And so basically, we're running the counter scheme, our GT counter scheme. So if it's London, the offensive line knows that they're basically going to be mirroring our gator play. All right, so counter to the right. We know that our center is going to step back and then eventually release, all right, to get leverage and push out whoever that overhang is, all right? Our right guard is going to be the guy who is looking to get across and get up into the alley. Our right tackle from the backside is going to release and turn and look and see if anybody's chasing the play. So we call him the rat killer. All right, so you're checking to see if anybody's trailing. You don't see anybody trailing, now you can bend it up and potentially block a backside safety or anybody that's coming from the opposite side of the field, okay? Now, if you end up having to rat kill, just get in the guy's way, we don't want to hurt the guy or get called for an illegal peel back block, then we can have the tight end play that cutoff guy on the backside to get to that safety if, in fact, you have to turn back and peel and get in the way. As far as the receivers blocking is concerned, we're going to go, Z's going to block the man over top of number 1. F is going to block the man over top of number 2. Okay, whoever that may be. If you have an apex guy, then you and the center can double team that guy and get that push going toward the sideline. Outside receiver, automatic, pushing it, selling it vertical for 3 steps. So inside foot is up. It'd be left, right, push off the left foot, come back, flat, in towards the quarterback, okay, and retrace behind the line of scrimmage, catch the ball, and then lean in and then get back outside, okay? I'm not going to show it the other way. The footwork obviously will be different, but basically it would be Paris, so it's the opposite, okay? And just for the offensive line purposes, okay, you guys would be blocking Florida if it's Paris, okay? So we're sending GT counter to the left, all right? So that would be Florida, and then we're throwing the Paris screen to the right, okay? The next screen that we're going over today is we're going over Linda and Rose Viper, okay? So basically what we're doing here is receivers, we're sending you, it's out of yellow left on this one, so it'd be Linda Viper. We are sending you to the numbers for your landmark. We're sending you up the near hash. All right, the F receiver is going to go to the opposite hash. That's your landmark for Viper. If it's a 3 by or 3 close set, your landmark is the opposite hash. And then the tight end that is a down tight end in a 3-point stance, you're going to run the shallow coming across the field. And then basically we could have the back away from the side of the screen or to the side of the screen. If he is away from the side of the screen where the play is going, so right here he's away, he's going to have to be a little bit faster, okay? A little bit faster because you're not to the side of the screen. You're away. If you are lined up on the side where the screen's going, you could be a little bit slower. But you're going to block it up front. We're going to block it for, it's a 3-man, 2-count screen. So it's 1,001, you're coming across 1,001, 1,002, and you're going to turn around and you're going to try to position yourself, okay, when you catch the ball in between both guards. So the people that are pulling, okay, left tackle here, you're going to kick, you're going to set and block the end, the defensive end or C-gap player. You got to get on him. And then we're going to end up releasing the guard, the center, and the opposite guard. Both tackles are going to be on, okay? So the play side guard, you're going to pull flat, or you're going to kick and protect 1,001, 1,002 rather, sorry, 1,001, 1,002, and you're going to pull flat, all right, to kick. The center, you're going to block 1,001, 1,002, okay? And then you're going to release to block up. So whoever that player is up, all right, whatever that alley player is, you're gonna up block him, okay? And then lastly, the right guard is going to kick, all right, and protect 1,001, 1,002, and he is going to release inside to cut off any pursuit from the inside coming back out, all right, to prevent that. All right, so that's basically Linda Viper. And then to run it the other way, obviously it'd be Rose Viper, which looks like this. Okay, it's the same thing. Opposite hash, near hash, numbers, tight end shallow, okay? Back opposite of the screen, all right? Right tackle, you're kicking and staying on the end, all right? Right guard, you're going to kick 1,001, 1,002, and you're going to come out, and you are going to be the kick out guy, okay? So whoever that guy may be, basically from the bottom of the numbers, you're the sidewalk guy out. Okay, center, same thing, kick, 1,001, 1,002. Then you're going to release up, all right, to block whoever the person is in the alley. That could be anybody from the hash, the near hash, to the top of the numbers, okay? Left guard, you're going to kick, 1,001, 1,002. You're going to release to the right, and you're going to look to come back and get in the way of anybody that's releasing or trying to pursue from inside out, okay? Again, you have hash, you have numbers. Okay, that's Rose. That's Rose Viper. Okay. Okay, went over Mary, Rose Viper, Paris, London. Talked a little bit about lock stick. Okay. Hoss and Hickey, we know. Corner, we know. I think I drew that up already. Basically, I think that's pretty much it. All right, if we're running stick, okay, and it's locked, let me see if I can walk you through that real quick. I don't really have it drawn up. I kind of have, okay. So just to kind of give you an idea of what lock stick would look like, and again, these letters are not correct. These are true air raid letters. Okay, so please don't, don't be upset about it. Okay, so basically, again, the Y and the F travel. And again, this guy wouldn't, I don't have time to like take him off the line of scrimmage, but he would be the Z. And then this guy would be the X. So just pretend that the X is on, okay, and the Z is off, right? Because I think this is going to be a pain in the neck to, well, I can do it. Okay, and then just, we can put the X on. Okay, so basically what's going to happen now, and again, they're not pass setting, okay, because it's, we're blocking, okay? So basically what's going to happen is this dude is going to lock, okay? He's going to lock on the backside. Okay. It's giving me a hard time. Okay. Okay. There. Okay. All right. He's going to lock. All right. Now, what's going to end up happening is the entire offensive line, it would be Zelda for us up front. All right. We're sending this dude on the running play. Okay. Sending him on the running play. All right. So he's there. Everybody else is blocking Zelda. Okay. Lock stick. So the X would have the mandatory outside release. Okay. The Z is going to run the stick. Okay. At 4 yards, no more than 3 to 4 yards from the offensive tackle. So we can put the overhang in a conflict. Okay. And basically what we're saying is we're basically saying that and I know it's only a 4-man front, but okay. What we're saying is, here's the read, okay? If this dude turns and opens toward the stick, we're going to hand the ball off, all right? Because we're locking him now. So we're reading this guy, okay? We're reading whoever that backer is to the inside. So it's a two-man game off of this backer, okay? So we're locking here. We're reading a second-level player, okay? If this dude fits the run, we're going to throw the stick. If he turns and opens to take away the stick, okay, now they're 1 short in the run game, and we're going to hand the ball off. All right, so it's a double option, if you will. All right, 2-man game, whatever you want to call it, off of that linebacker, all right, who could potentially fit the run, okay? But he can't do both. And so whatever stimulus he gives us, we do the opposite. Here, it's going there. It's the ball's being handed off. So that would be an example of lock stick. Guys, again, I've been here pretty long. I apologize. Hope you get something out of it. Thank you much for your time. If you have any questions, you know where to find me. All right. As always, and until next time, all right, Coach C, peace out.